we should be striving to be sincere and honest in our relationship with God, especially if you're a person who is active in your church or active in a community or sharing your journey with the Lord online, whatever the case may be. We should be being sincere and honest with our relationship with God and with the journey that God has us on. It should not become performative, right? Because once your relationship with God becomes performative, then you're not showing a realistic journey and you're not being realistic for the people that you may be discipling in your community or online or whatever the case may be. So your relationship with God should always be honest and true, right? First of all, honest between you and the Lord. You should be being honest with God about the way that you feel, the things that you're struggling with, because that is the only way that we can become better. That is the only way that we can become more like Christ, is if we're honest, so that the Lord can come in and do a work inside you and inside of your heart. It should not be a performance-based relationship with God. That was what the Pharisees did in the Bible, right? We know the Bible says that the Pharisees were very performative, right? They were more focused on how they looked on the outside and how other people view them. They wanted to look holy to people, but they had done no inner work inside of their heart, right? They showed no fruit of the Spirit because they were focused on their outside appearance and how they looked to everyone else and that they looked holy. But deep down, who they were on the outside or what people saw was not what they did in the dark, right? And the Lord knows our hearts. The Lord knows who we really are. That's why all the Lord wants you to do is just be honest. All He wants you to do is be genuine and sincere about your relationship with Him, and if that's something that you're willing to share with other people, right? Because you cannot give someone a true perspective of a journey with the Lord if you're not being honest, right? And there are people that have struggles. There are people who are truly looking and crying out and reaching out to the Lord for help, for change in their lives. There are a lot of people who are tired of the way that their life is going, and they're really looking to the Lord to be their helper. And the Lord is a helper, but it is also good for us to just be honest about where we are, because we know that none of us are perfect, right? Everybody still deals with things. We will never be perfect as long as we walk this earth. So just make sure, especially if you're discipling people or if you're coaching people, mentoring people, helping people on their walk, be honest, okay, about your walk, and not be like one of the Pharisees, right? Because it's the work that the Lord does inside of our hearts more than just how we look on the outside.